Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. Before I get the session started, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, Hashem Rakadash, and double honor to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and the shalom to the hopeful elect taking this truth to the four corners of the earth, bidding the elect spirits of Yasharallah to the marriage supper of the Lamb, who is Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Adah from the Atlanta camp. I want to focus on this lesson on the wickedness that Esau is openly beginning to show toward his own people, or it's being revealed. He's always been this way. This is not a new thing. It's just been concealed. It's been concealed in the form of the accusations that Esau, the so-called white man, constantly hurls at the Hebrew Israelites, aka the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Through the media system, or the power of the media, Esau has been able to accomplish and fulfill prophecy. What it talks about in Ezekiel, where we are an infamy among the people in the mouth of talkers. Let me show you that really quick. In the mouth of talkers. It's in It's in Ezekiel 35, I believe, or 36. In the mouth of talkers. In the mouth of talkers. Oh, you bitch. Let me see. Infamy. Infamy. Let's do that. There it is. So, go to Ezekiel. So this is Ezekiel 36. Therefore, a prophecy says, thus saith the Lord God, because they have made you desolate. Now, he's talking to us about what the Edomites have done to us. That is what is being spoken about here. Okay, Ezekiel 35, 36, 37 is a very detailed and it's a very, what's the word? There's a lot of the story in these three chapters. You got the discontinuing of the heritage, and then we're coming back into it. You see that's the valley of dry bones, how we lost our knowledge, our wisdom and understanding, and how we get it back through the breath. That's represented in Ezekiel 36. You see the splitting of the northern and southern kingdom. The stick of Ephraim and the stick of Judah were likened unto branches, family trees, root and fruit. Okay, that's shown here in Ezekiel 36, I believe. And then them stealing our heritage when we were in the state of discontinuing from our heritage as a form of punishment. They stole our identity. That's mentioned in 35 and 36. The controversy of Zion. All these three chapters are very intense. And so here, part of Esau's DNA structure is not only is he a thief, he's an accuser. He's a categorist. He has to rename. He's a liar. He has to rename everybody else on planet Earth in order to rename himself. You can't be who you are because he doesn't want to be who he is. Okay? Part of the prophecy, I have made Esau bare. He shall no longer be able to hide himself, also connects to all this reality. Precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. That is how you read and understand the prophecies, the precepts, the law, the statutes and commandments. You have to use other books, other lines, other precepts to connect to times and space in the scriptures to get the direct thought of the Most High. You can't just take one scripture, John 3:16. For God so loved the world. That does not mean what people think it means in English. The book was written in Hebrew on the other side of the planet. We are a nation, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai. He has a power of slang words. He has a power of dark sentences. He has a power of riddles. He is a God of lyrics and bars. You have to understand that we get our ability to speak slang the way that we do, the way that we speak Spanish, the way that we speak English, the way we speak German and French, the way we speak all these Edomite languages. We do it differently and better than any other nation on planet Earth because we are the Hebrew Israelites. The reason why we are able to come up with all these different ways to speak English, it's not because we're black. It's because we're the tribe of Judah, and we get this characteristic trait from our father, Yahweh. We get it from our eldest, most beloved elder brother, Yahweh Shai. They do the same thing. In fact, they do it first. And we are created in their image, and we do the same thing with words. The Most High speaks in riddles and similitudes, and you have to know how to open those up to even understand things. So right here, Ezekiel 36, therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate. The word desolate means what? To be destroyed, to not have a home, to have no walls. And as a result, you get talked about. Desolate. Look, to be desolate, to be appalled, to stun, to stupefy, to be desolated, to be deflowered, to be deserted, to be appalled, to be awestruck, to be desolate, be made desolate, okay? To be stunned, appalling, causing horror. Why? Because you have no walls. You have no military. You have no protection. To cause to be desolate. You're completely destroyed, all right? Let's go back. Because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession. What's a possession, you guys? See, these are all low estates. These are not positions of dominance. Okay, a possession. When you're a possession, what are you? You're a possession. Let's get the. You got to see. This is the state that we are in. Possession. Possession. Possess. Possession. Damn it. P-O-S-S. P-O-S. Possession. Possession. Possessive. Hold on. Possession. P-O-E-S. It's not going to say it. Oh, there we go. Oh, Salakia. The act or fact of holding, occupying, or owning. That's not. Think about that now. This is the state that this prophecy is describing that we are in. So this is not a lie. We are owned right now. That is a humiliating word. I own you. Have you ever heard someone say that? That's a dominant position, you guys. A taking possession, occupation, thing possessed. That which is possessed. It's cool, you guys. Material or landed properly. Okay? Fact of having and holding. What is possessed? Also demonic possession, whatever. A seizing possession. Okay, so look, man. We got to get the definitions of these words. Look, man. So look. So we'll go back to the top. Ezekiel 36:3. Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord power, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up. Let's get swallowed. We got to get these words. We have to understand that this is our position. This is where we're at right now. And as a result, a lot of disrespect and reclassification comes with this because you have no power to gasp, to pant after, for breathe heavily, to gasp, pant after, snuff up, to gasp or pant, to thirst for one's blood, to crush, trample upon, to trample upon or crush. Those aren't good words. So look, this is Yahweh in prophecy speaking about our current situation. You have to come into the understanding of where you are, who you are, and where you're going. And you can only find that out through the proper understanding of biblical prophecy. If you can't know or understand this, you don't know where the fuck you're at. You don't know who the fuck you are. And just like this, we have to understand who the so-called white man is and where the so-called white man is based on what prophecy says, not what he says. You can't go by his narrative. Ezekiel 36. Therefore prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord God, because they have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen. And ye, look, this is huge. And ye are taken up in the lips of talkers and are an infamy of the people. So if you're taken up in the lips of talkers, what does that mean? They get to say what they want to say about you because they possess you, because they have swallowed you, and they have desolated you. Does that make sense? They're never going to tell the truth about who we are, you guys. Why would they? They don't have to. They're in a position of authority. Why are they there, though? Because the Most High put them there. They have told us they're there because they're white. Their white skin, their intelligence, their power, their brilliant genius minds, their high IQs, that's the reason why they are able to do what they do. That's not what the prophecies say either. See, everything about this motherfucker falls apart, gets broken down when you understand how to read the Bible correctly. All right? Lips of talkers. That's what I was looking for. Salakia. So, taken up. So, look. They have made you desolate and swallowed you up on every side, that ye might be a possession unto the residue of the heathen, and ye are taken up. Let's see what this is. Okay, to go up, ascend, climb, to ascend, to visit, to go up, come up, to spring up, taken up, taken up, taken up, bring up, exalts. Okay, so look, they have us in their possession. They're taking us up. Taking in the lips, okay, the lips. This is their mouth speaking about us. Okay, language. Ooh, there it is. Look, now you can see the lips, language, speech. Okay, binding, language. How do the Edomites speak, you guys? Every fucking thing out of their mouth is a lie. So because they have us in their possession and because they have swallowed us up, they are talking about us from a position of lies, from what they want to say about us, right? They're not going to speak about the Bible concerning us. Lips of talkers. These are talkers. The tongue, see? Speech. They have a narrative. What does Esau say? Everything is based on his worldview, based on his reclassification of the earth. He has called himself white when the scriptures say he is red. Do you see how powerful this is? Esau, Ishashua, means red and wasted away is he. It doesn't mean white. He is not pure. But this is what he calls himself since 1681. You got to see this, okay? We're taken up in the lips of talkers. And as a result of us being taken up in the lips of talkers, we are now, okay, and are in infamy of the people. So see the result? What the lips of the talkers are saying has made us infamous. What is infamy? Whispering, defamation, evil report, whispering, defamation, defaming, evil report, unfavorable sayings. So the Bible is telling you that this race of people will never say anything good about you. But they say about themselves that they are the righteous, that they are good, right? That they are the holy people, that they look like God. God looks like them. White Jesus looks like them. And because they're actually wicked, everything they say about us is wicked. And people believe this shit. And that's why it says we are whispered upon the people. This is why all the other nations hate us. Part of it. They hate us also because they're the heathen and we're the chosen, but it's because of what Esau has done throughout the whole world. Nation, people, persons, members of one's people, compatriots, countrymen, okay? I'm showing you all this. So look, verse 4. Therefore, ye mountains of Israel, hear the word of Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord God to the mountains and to the hills and the rivers and to the valleys, to the desolate waste, and to the cities that are forsaken, which became a prey and derision to the residue of the heathen that are round about. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, surely in the fire of my jealousy, look, have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea. Idumea is the Greek word for Edom, which have appointed my land into their possession. See, so now so as we were swallowed up, and as they made us desolate, they then assumed the position of who we are in the earth, and they have told the world that they are God's chosen people. That's what this is explaining. While they're also filling the earth with rumors and vile speech and pseudoscience. We're 3/5 of a human. We're monkeys. We're animals. Because we're being punished by Yahweh. So they've hid the truth about Yahweh punishing us. They've hid the truth that we have sinned against Yahweh. We did. And they don't explain the supernatural reason why we are on the bottom, yet we do all these amazing things. So everybody has this jealousy of us, and they don't know why, because they believe the lies that Esau has told the world in the previous verse. When we are the Hebrew Israelites and we're currently under the curses because of what we did, and Esau has assumed our identity on the earth. This is the acts of the wicked, okay? Why did I even come here? Because I want to go back. I want to go back here. I want to show you something. This is who these people are. They've always been this way with themselves too. White on white crime. I said that to show we got to understand they are the same way with their own race of people. There's a small percentage of them that are in power. The rest of the ones on the bottom have been able to enjoy the illusion of white supremacy through the American dream. And now the Edomites at the top are ready to destroy it all because they understand Yahweh Shai is coming. And they're done raping the earth using America and the falsities of it. And I wanted to show you a couple of videos that are showing you the wickedness of this people who have been wicked to us, and they're going to be destroyed and specifically punished for what they've done to us. But they've also done this to their own people. White on white crime. I think that's what I'm going to name this lesson. White on white crime is the biggest kept secret in the universe. I'm going to show you these two videos. Look at this video right here. Look.
All right, imagine waking up one day and being told the home your family has lived in for years is going to be demolished to help power the AI boom, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. That is what is happening to some homeowners in Georgia. They've been given an ultimatum: sell your home or the state will take it. Utility giant.
And who's this state? The state is white people. The government is white people. These laws were written by so-called white people who are Edomites, right? And this is what they're beginning to openly do to their own people.
Georgia Power is planning to build a new transmission line so it can handle new data centers. Skylar Henry has more from a county just outside Atlanta.
Now, I'm a single mom. I worked hard for everything.
How do you put a price on a home you never intended to sell? One filled with more than 2 decades of memories.
I think I was 5 or 6 when this was built.
The treehouse where you grew up playing pretend.
Now, of course, this is judgment. This is them reaping what they've sown because they did this everywhere they went. But this is now them. Now it's to the point where they can't even hide anymore. They're being shown. This news network is controlled by that same race of people, and they are showing you what the powerful of their people are doing to the lower versions of their people. Of course, they're doing this shit to us, you guys. That's not the focus right now. And I'm not doing this lesson to show compassion for the low-level Edomites. No. What's the precept say in Ecclesiasticus? He who is wicked to himself, how can he be good to another? That's in the Apocrypha. That's in our scriptures, man. Let's pull it real quick. Because it's specifically he who is evil to himself. Talking about his house, talking about his own nation. How can he be good to another? There it is. Wait for it to pull up. Ecclesiasticus 14:5. He that is evil to himself, talking about his own race, his own nation, his own seed line, to whom will he be good? It's impossible. We're showing you the anatomy of the so-called white man. He shall not take pleasure in his goods. Let's go back to the video.
The yard where you buried your pets. The greenhouse that fed your family.
When you talk about what being on this property means to you,
Yeah.
right? It's y'all's.
It's ours. It's ours. It's my mom's. It's mine. It's my daughter's. It's our family. We belong here.
But Ansley Brown's childhood home likely won't be here much longer. That's because the state's largest utility, Georgia Power, says it needs the area to make way for a 35-mile-long transmission line.
Georgia Power has been here for as long as Ansley's mother has owned this property. It's just beyond the tree line. Now, with the expansion of this latest project, they're looking to take the 2.5 acres the house sits on.
Georgia Power says increasing demand from homes, businesses, and data centers has outpaced the capacity of its existing grid, and building a new transmission line requires acquiring more than 300 parcels of land, including residential properties.
What did your mom tell you she wanted for this property to be?
Generational wealth. So I have a young daughter This home is supposed to go to her. True generational wealth was the idea, and now it's being stripped from us.
Georgia Power estimates 70 to 80% of the power on this new line is expected to help serve data centers, being built in part to support the growing demands of artificial intelligence. It says the remaining 20 to 30% of power will serve the state's growing residential and commercial demand.
All power generation starts somewhere.
Holly Lovett is a Georgia Power spokesperson.
We take into factor our customers, first and foremost. They are at the center of our business and the core of what we do. We want them to be able to have their daily lives. And we take that seriously. It is something needed for survival. And we empathize with these community members who are seeing this growth.
Georgia Power told us that they feel as if they've done this process responsibly. What would you say to that?
I disagree. You can't tear down 35 miles of rural Georgia and it not hurt something or somebody. And to say that you're doing it in the name of data centers is a slap in the face to...
And this is what the so-called white man has done all over this country and all over the earth. He's become extremely efficient at it. He's got laws. What's it called? Oh man, there's a law. Hold on, they're gonna mention it.
Us, our community, our animals.
Brown's mother recently came to an agreement with Georgia Power to sell. Brown says if she didn't, the utility could have sought to acquire her property through eminent domain.
That's it. So what is eminent domain? Government authorized taking of private property. Property owners must receive compensation, but it sounds like, used for projects deemed to serve a public purpose. And that bottom part is the lie. It's not serving a public service. It's serving the upper echelons, the Lucifer. It's serving the top 1%. So this is a perfect example of how Esau writes wicked decrees. Let's pull that precept. So eminent domain, let's get that real quick. What is eminent domain? Let's see. Watch.
Eminent domain allows the government to take private property for public use, but it must pay fair market value. This power is used for things like roads, schools, or utilities. If there's a dispute, a legal process called condemnation resolves it in court. For legal advice, consult a professional.
So you see how so this goes into what? This also goes into Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. Let's get it. Look at all this, man. This is what makes the scriptures so amazing. When you've been taught by the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and the Spirit comes on you, and you're a Hebrew Israelite, and Yahushua opens up your understanding, and you're able to now see the so-called white man for what he always has been. You're like, how many precepts in the Bible point the behavior, system, patterns, history, ways of conduct of this one specific race of people? Literally everything in the scriptures condemns the so-called white man. Look, Wisdom of Solomon, chapter, let's go back down. I'm going to read the whole. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. This shows you how they write their laws. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Now, this is talking specifically about us, but it trickles over into the lower echelons of the other Edomites and the other nations, because Esau is wicked to himself. So it's applied to us first in order. But this is what Esau does to everyone. Let us oppress the poor righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray hairs of the aged. Let us let the strength of the law. That's what I want to get. Let the strength of the law be. Let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble has found to be nothing worth. That's it right there. Let the strength of the law be our. Let our strength be the law of justice, and that's what this is.
A legal process.
That's what you see. That's the law of justice right there. This is not the law of Moses. You're not supposed to move the ancient you're not supposed to move the borderlines of stuff. You're not supposed to do stuff like this. But this is Esau. Government domain and eminent domain. Sounds really cool, huh? Ooh. Government, look at it. Government authorized taking, which is stealing, of private property, something that doesn't belong to them. And then this is how they justify it. This is what they do. They always think they can redeem themselves by giving you money. No matter how bad or wicked the pride. Notice how They'll release a new drug. It will kill millions of people. They'll make hundreds of billions of dollars, and then they'll pay off the families of the people that died with a couple $1 million, but they'll keep their trillions. They do this all the time, thinking that their money can redeem them. And then what does the bottom say? Used for projects deemed to service the public purpose. Now that's coded speech, because why would the government take property from the public? Because that's where the property of the owners is in the public. Why would the government take property from the owners to service the public? I'm going to steal from you to service you. You see how crazy that sounds? This is how Esau gets down. This is how he writes his laws. This is his veneer of righteousness. This is what he has been doing to the so-called black man, Latino man, and Native Americans since the beginning. And he's been justified the whole way through his lies and his accusations of who we are by putting the camera on us and putting 100% blame of our actions always just on us. Oh, it's your fault that you're acting like this, when he had a lot to do with it.
That allows private property to be taken with compensation for projects determined to serve a public purpose.
Eminent domain is always, a last resort for us.
And then they got this super feminine, girl who's indoctrinated with their bullshit. She's representing them. So she's wicked too. But that's the reason why they have people like this in their PR. Someone that seems and looks relatable, but they're not going to budge. Watch, listen to her.
It's something we never want to do.
To us, it's theft.
But you're doing it. You're saying you don't want to do it, but you're doing it. And this little girl is right.
It's literally $1 billion company stealing land from smaller people who can't fight back. We don't have the money to fight Georgia Power.
So that's why a few months ago, Ansley took her...
So now this girl and her family and her daughter, they're going to be without walls. They're not going to be given enough money to go buy a house somewhere else. They're going to have to rent somewhere. It's really... Now listen, we're not here to defend them. But when you can see it and you get upset when you look at it, now think about us as a nation. This is what happened to us as a nation. Now the reason why it happened to us is because we transgressed against our power. But what's going to happen to this girl right now? She's got the sovereignty that she can come home and be on her property. Do you have any idea how powerful that is? Right now, that is her property. She's the guardian of that land. She gets to be there, and she's an authority over that land. That's her. She's going to answer to anybody. Now she's going to be removed from this sovereignty at a young age, and she's going to remember what it was like to have the independence of her own yard and her own fucking house, and now she's got to go rent from somebody else where she doesn't have no authority. And her daughter is going to grow up in that. And then that daughter, if we even go that far, they're going to grow up never even knowing what it's like to be into. That's what happened to us, you guys, as an entire race of people. And the so-called Edomites try to tell us, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. It's a major deal. Right now, she's being swallowed up, just like we read in Ezekiel. But this is what her people have done.
Story to TikTok.
My childhood home is being taken by Georgia Power.
Her videos went viral, and she began sharing stories of others in similar situations, like Cynthia Van Epps.
What is it taking from her? Look behind me. It's taking this entire backyard, the pool and everything.
We don't want to move. That's the bottom line.
Van Epps and her husband raised 4 kids here.
18 years, a lot of memories here.
Our 2 youngest, who are 16 and 17, are... Yeah, this is the house they've known. This is the only house that they've known.
If Van Epps doesn't sell Georgia Power her property, she says the utility can obtain an easement across a chunk of her backyard, which would require removing the pool and would leave the transmission line just feet from her home.
One of their trucks could pull up right outside our bedroom door, 12 feet from our bedroom door, and
those data centers are loud as fuck. You can hear them like a mile away. They emit a lot of pollution, like some really bad radiation or something, and they have lights on 24 hours. The Esau is destroying. It's also another proof that the judgment's specifically coming to this race of people because they are the ones doing all this. So it's destroying the land. It's destroying the agriculture. It's destroying the animals. It's completely defiling the water.
absolutely nothing we could do about it.
What do you say to someone who will push back on any sort of offer that's out there and say, well, a price tag can't replace memories?
Oh gosh, it almost makes me emotional because I have those memories in like my house, and I get how deeply personal people's homes are. I would just say that we see you and we hear you, and
But you don't see us and you don't hear us because they're telling you they don't want you to move on them, and you're still moving on them, talking about we see you and we hear you. It's all bullshit.
we want this process to be respectful and transparent.
And all that means is we want you to sell us your property. This is how this is, and this is the soft spoken. This is the look at her body posture. This is how this race. This is their vibration. She seems very non-threatening, right? But this is her on the news. Look at her, dude. This is her on national news interviewing with this guy. Soft spoken. The fact is, you are removing human families from their land for a wicked purpose, and you're presenting yourself as what? An angel of light. This is who these people have always been, and now we're getting call halal lahaim la Yahweh b'Hashem Yahushai. We're getting to witness them do it to their own people, and we get to point it out. I'm not doing this lesson because I feel bad for the white families. No, we're here to point these people out. The hypocrisy and them crying about them losing their homes. What about when we lost our tents? You guys didn't give a fuck, right? And then here we are watching you guys do what you said that we do. Black on black crime, 13% of the population, black on black crime. This is happening to Edomites. Edomites are taking Edomite land to put these fucking data centers up because there's no room to put them in the hood because they got all their other shit in the hood.
And that is going to ultimately benefit you. We want that.
Ben Epps and Brown don't.
And
Listen.
like my house.
Listen to this bitch. Watch. Look at this. Listen to this whore.
Sort of offer that's out there and say, well, a price tag can't replace memories.
Oh gosh, it almost makes me emotional because I have those memories in like my house, and I get how deeply personal people's homes are. I would just say that we see you and we hear you, and we want this process to be respectful and transparent, and that is going to ultimately benefit you.
Me stealing your house, me paying for your house, me taking away your home, ultimately is going to benefit you. How can this fucking Edomite white bitch fix her mouth to say that? But this is how they've been there. This is what they are, you guys. Look, you need to look at your enemy. You need to look at the devil. You need to look at the devil. They're the only race of people they are doing this all over the fucking planet, man.
We want that.
Ben Epps and Brown don't buy that. And while they both know it's likely too late to save their homes, they don't want to see this happen to anyone else.
Oh, but it's going to.
My mom wants an apology.
And she's not going to get one. So now I want to shift. Ain't no fucking apology coming, bitch. And just like you, brother, you Jakes, you want some kind of response from the so-called white man. You want what's the word when they pay us? You want reparations. Prophecy tells you what kind of reparations we're going to get. They're going to pay us back in their blood, and they're going to pay us back in 1,000 years of slavery while we are in rulership under Yahushua and King David. They have to be 1,000% removed from power. You cannot have and enjoy and receive reparations from the so-called white man if the so-called white man system is still active on the earth. Because the money he would give you would just go right back to him. Sovereignty, retribution, and balance are reparations. And they have to pay for everything that they have done. Now we're going to jump really quick to some videos on TikTok.
Go on, just a little. Not happening, buddy. You're going.
Rub my belly. This is what's happening.
Is because
A sword is sharpened. I'm going to get that precept. Let's get that. And this is a warning to us Hebrew Israelites, but this is coming to Edomites too. A sword is sharpened. And who has the biggest sword? The sword is upon her wise. Nope, sharpened. I want the one that's in. It's in. I believe it's in Ezekiel. The sword is sharpened. So look at this, man. Yep. Look. Son of man, prophesy and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, say a sword is sharpened and also furbished. It is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter. Should we then make mirth? Should we be partying? Should we have a lackadaisical fucking reality TV show, Love Island, fucking world perception right now? No. Should we then make mirth? It contemneth the rod of my son as every tree. Now look at this one. He was given a great sword. This is Esau, you guys. He was given a great sword. The rider on the right horse to take peace from the earth. This is talking about the Edomites. That's why the horse is red. Horse is a symbol of power. Revelation 6:4. And there went out another horse that was red. Talking about the Edomites, the so-called white man. And you see these data centers, that is part of this. Them moving and doing what they're doing with these data centers, and then what the data centers are going to empower them to be able to do. Not only are they destroying the land and the water, they're going to be able to fucking watch you on every corner, and they're going to be able to power their robots, their fucking drones, and their fucking cyborgs. Against who? Against us. And power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. So you got to see this for what it is. And look, I have seen. This is Hollywood, ran by the same race of people. And this is them telling you through their revelation of the method, their dark prophecies on the left-hand side, that they are getting ready to kill a humongous amount of the human population.
That dome.
This is a movie called Begonia. I strongly suggest you watch it. It's fucking good. It's got a lot of revelation of the method in it. This is like the last 20 minutes of the movie. This is a picture of the earth. This alien girl lady, she was on the earth, posing as a CEO, a company that was trying to help humanity. Some guy figures her out. He's a bug out, but he figures that she's an alien. And they fight, and he dies in the process of trying to kill her. She beams back up into her ship, and then she has a council with her alien race of counselors. They all look like humans, but just dressed differently. And she makes a determination to kill the entire planet Earth by popping the fucking firmament, which is them in code speech telling you what's going to happen in Jacob's trouble. Because that's what the scripture that's what we just read here. Dude, billions of people, hundreds of millions, if not billions of people are going to die in the near future. It's going to be bad.
Anyway, here we go. Watch it together. Here we go.
So that's her standing inside of her ship, and she's over the earth, and she's got a big old pokey thing in her hand, and she's about to pop the firmament. What would that do? It would kill everybody on planet Earth. So they're telling you great death is coming. This is not just a movie. They're telling you something.
Reality is because I...
Serve the living.
So, and this is one of their doctrines. If you find the Georgia Guidestones, let's do it. Georgia Guidestones, Georgia Guidestones. They were telling people this, and then they destroyed them a few years ago because people were doing that. It was time to hide it. But check this out.
I totally get that you're busy. You've got personal things going on in your life. Lots of distractions on the news given from the mainstream media. There's a lot going on. But I don't know if you realize this, but it's been over a year since the Georgia Guidestones were blown up, and nobody's talking about it anymore. And if you don't know what the Georgia Guidestones are, it's a bunch of tall stone tablets where it has written on them the same exact text in a bunch of different languages. One of the wonderful things that whoever put up this monument thought to put on here was maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature.
The only way you can do that is to murder off everyone. So this tells you, from the left-handed perspective, that they are in agreement, and that they are the sword of Yahweh, and that they are preparing to do this through vaccines, bioweapons, their laws. When shit hits the fan, how the robots, they're gonna kill, and the main thing is they're gonna be trying to kill off the Israelites. That's what they're going for. They're trying to stop prophecy. They're trying to prevent Yahushua from getting on the throne, and they're trying to eliminate Jacob. But in that process, they got to kill everybody else, because they understand that we were scattered to the four corners of the earth. There's a lot in this. And so you're seeing that in this. This is part of that.
My mom wants.
This is part of that sword sharpening. And now we are beginning to see, we got to interpret this correctly. Esau has never given a fuck about his own race of people, right? But he's trying to stop Yahushua from getting on that throne, and he's willing to kill off the Hebrew Israelites and his own people in the process in order to not lose his rulership. So people need to interpret this correctly. Saying about, I might title this white on white crime has been the biggest kept secret, but that's not really what I'm talking about. I want that to be like a sliver of the understanding. This is a bloody man. This is not a benevolent. They're not a righteous people, man. And anyone who erects, think about this.
If you do the math, that's like
anybody who erects something like this in public and gets away with it, think about that. No one ever came to tear it down. No city ordinance, no planning and zoning, none of those, those legalistic. This motherfucking thing was erected back in the 80s, and it just posted up there until like 3 years ago when they destroyed it. And they were the ones that destroyed it. It wasn't some random person. They sent one of their fucking henchmen out there to fucking bulldoze it down, because it was during COVID and everybody was looking into that shit. And so it was time for them to like wipe their fingerprints, so to speak, off the murder weapon. They were just covering their tracks. They weren't bringing it down because they cared. They weren't bringing it down because they're righteous. They were covering. They were just hiding it. That's all they were doing.
90% reduction in the current claimed population of the Earth. But other than just saying some weird stuff like we should kill everybody, it also had some astronomical features. One, the channel through the stone indicates the celestial pole, Polaris. Talk about that in a second. The horizontal slot indicates the annual travel of the sun. And 3, sunbeam through the capstone marks noontime throughout the year. Now that channel that they were talking about drilled through the rock is this hole right here. And you could have walked up to this hole at any time of the year, day or night, and this hole would be aiming at Polaris, the celestial pole. Riddle me this. How are we supposed to believe this worked if this is the movements of our solar system? The entire solar system is moving 500,000 miles an hour, 4.9 billion miles in a single year through space. We're tilted on an axis, precessing, wobbling, while we're supposed to believe we're orbiting the sun at 66,616 miles an hour on average. And all of the stars above our head are supposed to be expanding away from us from the Big Bang, doing their own individual movements. And we're supposed to believe that we're on a round rock, and we could set a rock.
So now it sounds like he's trying to go into flat earth. I don't know about that part. All I wanted to talk about was this.
Weird stuff, like in a bunch.
Okay, so that was erected. Esau put this up. That's him communicating his left-handed revelation of the method. Their own tongue shall fall upon themselves. The scriptures identify this person as the rider on the red horse. The reason why it is red is because the true color of the so-called white man is red. They are pink and red. They are not white. So we see this.
What up, bro? Did you know that there's this hole right here? See that hole? It lines up with Polaris, the North Pole Star, all year. If you look at nighttime through on the other side, that hole goes up, and the North Pole Star is right in the middle, and it happens year round.
So you see it. You see this stuff that this Edomite is doing.
My mom wants an apology. She wants an apology from Georgia
And
Power.
that's never going to happen. So, with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakadash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles, the great Nelson, whom I learned from, the ship brother Radash. Shalom.